Hello and welcome back to Mondays Are For the Nerds.
It's episode 2. I'm Jay Wright.
I am Tristan Stump.
We're pleasantly glad to have you back with us this week, joining us for our second episode.
And how was your week?
That was pretty good. You know, I was eagerly anticipating the arrival of my Lego Titanic I bought.
Oh
the
yeah,
second largest Lego set ever made. I say that technically the third if you go by piece count, but by size it's the second largest.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally came in Friday, and I'm 3 bags in, and it is going to be huge. It is going to be amazing.
Well, you sent me a picture with
the box,
and it was 3 boxes inside of the box.
It was the big box outside, which doesn't reveal the Lego inside in case it's like a gift. And there was the actual Lego freight box inside of that, which there's no space in between this cardboard. And then inside that was the actual Titanic box, which is the exact size it needed to be. There's no extra space at all. And inside the Titanic box was 3 boxes. So the set split into 3 parts. And so I'm 3 bags deep into box 1.
And I bet that's like
amazing.
box 1 is like what, 8, 10 bags?
I think it's 12.
12?
But they're all like big bags. And while I'm doing that, I like to have background noise as like a show. And I figured for a big build, I would start watching Cheers for the first time all the way through. My boy Ted Danson, the Silver Fox.
Silver Fox.
Before he was Silver Fox. Don't diss him, my boy Ted D.
No, Cheers is the classic. I mean,
yeah.
I told you, I think it's the best 22 years of...
Oh, yeah, including Frasier.
Mm-hmm.
And I plan to watch that right as soon as once I get the Eiffel Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Frasier's going to be my next show. But yeah, it's amazing. Coach is me. I love being the dumb character in every single show. Andy Dwyer, me. Dumb character always gets the best laughs, in my opinion.
Well, I would call Coach the dumb character, but there's a character that's introduced later.
Woody Harrelson?
I said Woody
I've
Harrelson's
seen
character.
some clips of him.
Okay, I'm going to say, you're definitely going to be like, yeah.
Once my Coach fill is gone, because you told me the actor dies.
Yeah.
Then I know I'm going to get my fill with Woody Harrelson.
It's
for sure.
Yeah. But me, talk about what I did this week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I did this week? That's actually going to be a conversation for later. But something I did.
Oh, yeah.
Something I did today is I had turducken for the first time.
Nice. I've never had duck.
The duck tasted fine, except that it wasn't like duck per se. It was duck pate that was stuffed in with the chicken into the turkey.
So it's not actually
It wasn't like
what I think is like a chicken, a whole roast chicken inside of a whole duck, inside of a whole turkey.
Yeah, it was.
It's just like duck parts.
It had duck pate in it, which was fine. It tasted fine, but I just don't like the texture pate.
Fair.
So
Fair.
But it was good. Yeah, it was pretty filling.
Would you have it again?
Would I have it again? Yeah.
As like a go-to?
No, but if it was cooked for me and be like, oh yeah, I'll eat it. I'm very picky, so like
Same.
when I find so there are things where it's like, no, I like it, but I wouldn't choose it. I usually
It wouldn't be your first go.
I'm the guy that I'm not the guy that goes to a Mexican restaurant and asks for chicken strips. I used to be.
You don't need to call me out like that, okay? Okay. You know what? Okay, here's something that it's gonna. So this isn't any release today, but it has something to do with this week. I'd tease you this. You don't know what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But you know what's going viral on TikTok this week that I've seen a lot of?
What?
The theme song of the Magic School Bus Rides Again. And I know how you feel about this.
Hashtag where's Phoebe? Okay, so
oh my goodness.
Magic School Bus Rides Again came out when we were in high school, and so Phoebe was one of my favorite characters in the original Magic School Bus, and so they reboot it, and they don't bring back Phoebe. Do they replace her with a new character?
They replace her with a new character, yeah.
Yeah, they replace her with a new character who wasn't that like good of a replacement. And so I would go on these rants in theater class all the time about the hashtag where's my Phoebe.
Or was it Where's My Phoebe or Not My Phoebe?
No, it was Where's My Phoebe.
Where's My
because
Phoebe?
the Not My thing you think of is Not My Roderick, which I wasn't a part of.
That's fair.
But if you search through my my Twitter, you'll probably find like 2015. You'll probably find a just in all caps hashtag Where's My Phoebe.
This is my payback for him telling me that the character who plays Coach in Cheers dies.
The actor who plays
3 seasons in, when I'm only 6 episodes into season 1.
Well, I didn't want you to be blindsided.
I would have cried. Let's be honest. I would have cried. More than likely.
And yeah, the episode that's like his dedication episode. It's nice.
It's sad.
It's it's very heartfelt and
yeah.
there's a, I can't remember if they actually pointed out in the show, but there is a prop that they keep on the set for the rest of the series in memoriam of him. So,
Can we start talking about releases this week?
yeah, we want to talk about
Coming up?
some TV movie releases this week.
TV movie and one music for one of our listeners out there. 21 Pilots released their 7th studio album, Clancy, on May 24th, which was Friday. That came out on Friday. We're excited to hear that. I'm working backwards because usually I start with movies, but we got a big one coming out that's going to lead into our first talking point. TV, Monday, the new Fairly Odd Parents show called Fairly Odd Parents, A New Wish, premiered on Nickelodeon.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude. The writing is like early seasons old Fairly Odd Parents.
So it's like classic.
So it's, Cosmo isn't a complete idiot. He was kind of stupid before, but they kind of flanderized him. They made his character like way too stupid. Same with Wanda. She became more shrill and whiny as the show went on. And so this is actually a lot more like the earlier where Cosmo is stupid, but he has a wit to him.
Yeah.
And Wanda is the, you better not do that, but she still lets you like learn your lesson instead of just whining the whole time and telling you how stupid you are.
Yeah. Isn't it set after?
It is set after, so what it is there's a little bit of timey-wimey shenanigans here where Cosmo and Wanda like explain that they, after Timmy, they retire. And they go on a vacation for like thousands of years through time, but then they decide to come back to what is our present day, which would only be about 20 years after Timmy's present day.
Yeah.
And so then they meet Hazel, who's the new protagonist, and
so it's like present day, current day.
Yeah.
But like for them, it's like the same.
Yeah. For them, it's been thousands of years. But
Okay.
For us, it's only been 20 years.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of heart and a lot of that early Fairly Odd Parents charm. I don't know how I feel, and I had the same. You can't go watch this show. I'm about to comment because it was a tax write-off thing that's no longer on Paramount. But the Big Nate show was also.
I love that show. Actually, no, I love Big Nate so much.
I liked the Big Nate show.
I haven't seen all of it.
And the art style was fine, but there was a weird thing where a lot of the lighting was weird.
Yeah.
And so Fairly Odd Parents kind of like, it's a CGI show that has a lot of 2D influence. And there's just a little bit of a weird lighting thing where I look at it, it's like, it doesn't bother me, but there's just something off about it. Yeah. I don't know quite how to put it, but yeah,
No, I got you.
The clips, I haven't watched a full episode of it yet. It leaked. The pilot episode leaked a couple months ago.
Yeah. But it officially came out Monday.
It officially came out
May
Monday,
20th.
and it seems like it has a lot of heart. I know Butch Hartman is only executive producer of it, so he doesn't have full involvement. It seems pretty good. I'm gonna have to give me, a 24-year-old, is gonna have to give the kids show a
Like when I watched the animated How to Train a Dragon.
Well, Fairly
series.
Odd Parents is one of the influences
It's like
of
a
my
classic.
art style,
Yeah.
and of why I wanted to go into animation. And so, getting a sequel series that is an absolute garbage, like the live action show was, which is also another tax write-off.
I forgot that thing existed.
It's good that you forgot it existed. Okay, I watched.
I remember the memes when
I
it
watched
started.
one episode, and that was enough.
Wednesday, May 22nd, Trying Season 4 premiered on Apple TV+. Thursday, May 23rd, The Kardashians Season 5 premiered on Hulu, and Evil Season 4, which is going to be its final season, premiered on Paramount+. And then Saturday, May 25th, My Adventures with Superman Season 2 starts on Adult Swim.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude. People... I think it was kind of a meme, maybe not a meme. It was kind of a trend to crap on the show for various reasons. Oh, it's very anime influenced. Oh, the show's pacing is very fast. In 13 episodes of the first season, a lot of things happen that are usually for most Superman shows and movies and stuff. It's over the course of a couple seasons.
Yeah.
That happens in one season, but then there's other plot lines that go, okay, no, this was a full season's worth of storyline, but there are just certain things. And I think they did that because they wanted a certain character dynamic for writing season 2.
Yeah.
And they said they had season 3 and 4 fully written out. They just need a way to get greenlit. So I will be watching the heck out of it every episode. I had not watched a show weekly in a while since, and then Superman was the first show that I was like, oh, the new episode's up. I'm going to go watch that.
Right. And ending this week in TV, most cable TV shows had their finale this week, season finales. Grownish and The Good Doctor both had their series finales, and as well as, I don't know if it ended this week, but Walker season 4 or will be its final one. In terms of movies, Thursday, May 23rd, we got the documentary called The Blue Angels, which follows the veterans and newest class of Navy and Marine Corps Flight Squadron as they go through intense training and into a season of heart-stopping aerial artistry. And I believe that is produced by Glenn Powell of Top Gun Maverick fame. That came out on Thursday on Amazon Prime, which I will give that a watch because I'm a big Glenn Powell fan. Friday, May 24th, we got in theaters Sight, which is the true story of Dr. Ming Wang, a Chinese immigrant who defies all odds to become a world-renowned eye surgeon. Hitman got its limited release this week in theaters before it drops on Netflix on June 7th. I'm very excited for that. Atlas came out on Netflix, a Jennifer Lopez and Simu Liu flick. Disney Plus got the documentary The Beach Boys, which is about the Notorious band. I say Notorious if they did something wrong.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, one of them had ties to Charles Manson, so
Yeah. And then Saturday, May 25th, we got the concert film of Lady Gaga's Chromatica, released on Max. And then the two big releases in theaters this week. One was Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I did get to see Thursday, and it was amazing. It was so good. I loved Chris Hemsworth is a grimy little
jerk face.
Yeah, jerk face. He's the villain in that Dementus, and his accent just. I saw a video today where he was talking about how he crafted his accent as like his nasally uncle, and also was also inspired by like seagulls.
Seagulls?
It's like a high pitched Australian accent, which he's already Australian.
Yeah,
and that you might have seen from the trailer, but he's like it feels like over top Australian accent, and he steals every single scene he's in.
He's laying it on thick like David Tennant did for Scrooge McDuck.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like imagine an Australian accent, but also mixed with a like 1940s news reporter. Which is also how he described it in the same video where he described it as like a seagull inspired somehow. By the way, Chris Hemsworth also got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this week. And then leading into our first point of the episode, the Garfield movie came out this week.
Yes, it did.
My boy Chris Pratt.
You
know his voice is Garfield.
You and I went and saw that at our local theater. We certainly have thoughts on it. The movie was good. Like I enjoyed it. It had a lot of funny parts.
Yeah.
The physical comedy was funny. I just don't know if it was very Garfield.
Yeah, like going into it, I knew it kind of means something when Chris Pratt is my favorite actor, and my favorite part about that, based on the trailers, was to be able to see Brett Goldstein in it of Ted Lasso fame as one of the henchman dogs. That was when I knew that going in there, I'm like, that's going to be one of my favorite parts. And he reminded me of like Lurch from the animated Addams Family movies.
It was so, and like the thing, there's a bit where, because he plays, I don't know what the breed of the dog is.
I have no idea.
But he plays a dog that has like a lot of skin.
Wrinkles and like folds and all that.
Folds and stuff. And so there's a lot of these jokes where he grabs Garfield by the head and it just like.
The rolls go over his head as if he's like a suction tube or something.
Yeah.
And you expect him to just slurp up into his arm.
And it like, that was like, funny in your visceral reaction is just like, it was kind of a Mario movie situation where I went in knowing Chris Pratt was not going to be the best part of it.
Yeah.
And he did a decent job as playing Garfield. I was worried he was going to be too overexcited, and he did a good job being sarcastic, and a lot of that is the writing kept Garfield very sarcastic, and that is about the extent of how true to Garfield's character they kept it.
Oh yeah,
because he does a lot of jumping around and running and actiony stuff.
The way I saw someone describe it online was, when you think of Garfield, you think of like he doesn't like to move and all that, but then the like writers, whoever it was who made the movie, put him into a Mission Impossible style like action heist movie. And which also, there's a lot of Tom Cruise call outs in this movie. There's at least 3 direct ones that are like, what?
So either we missed Tom Cruise's name in the credits, or
he wasn't in the credits. I looked online. He's not in the credits at all.
But it was like, when I got done with it, I enjoyed what I watched.
Yeah.
When it gets on streaming, and if I'm ever like, oh, it's time to clean my room, oh, it's time to work on editing something, I might turn it on. But it wasn't a good Garfield movie. And this is coming from someone, talk about Fairly Odd Parents being a big influence. Garfield is another big influence on me as an artist. And so I love the 80s, 90s Saturday morning cartoon and specials. Yeah. And the movie was very evocative of these specials, especially there's one called Garfield Out on the Town, and it's about him getting lost. I think John takes him to the vet and he gets lost because his carrier like falls out of the back of the truck. He ends up finding the Italian restaurant he was born in that's now abandoned and reunites with his mom. And there's a cat gang. And so he has to deal with that before he can get home. And meanwhile, John's like looking for him. So there was a lot of that was very evocative in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was if you replaced Garfield and Odie and John with just random characters, it would have been just as good.
Yeah. Also, if you took John out of it for the most part.
Yeah, John
which
was
is
in
bad.
like 10 minutes of the movie. Probably 10 of the funniest minutes of the movie.
Yeah, like he gets some funny stuff, but if you took him out of it, which is bad to say for a Garfield movie, then it would have been relatively the same movie.
Yeah. And, Liz
Basically.
and Nermal are cameos, and Arlene's not even in it. Any of the new side characters they introduced, or even John's family, they have a thing at the beginning where they seem to set up some kind of like character arc for John. It's not really that fulfilled. I mean, it's sort of fulfilled because he finds companionship in Garfield and Odie, but it's not that fulfilled in that we don't get any of his perspective of wanting the fam. Like we get his perspective for the scene in the beginning of the movie, and the rest of the film is just Garfield's perspective.
Yeah.
And so it was, so that was a little weird for the director to have, claimed that it was a love letter to Garfield and Friends and the comic strips.
And there were some small scenes that were like,
yeah, there were some small scenes.
Like with the spider on, it's from the trailer, so it's not a spoiler.
There were some references to memes and merchandise and stuff, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it would have been a better movie and it would have been a better Garfield movie and more true to the character if it was more like Homeward Bound, where, Garfield gets kidnapped and he's reunited with his dad, but now it's the trek home that's the adventure and not this weird heist movie. That was funny. There was a lot of funny moments. Yeah. But just wasn't Garfield.
Yeah. That being said, I did love the two dog henchmen.
Oh, the two dog henchmen were great. Odie was
Harvey
great.
Gillian gets an acting credit for voicing Odie, and it's just a bunch of like.
It's a bunch of.
Odie doesn't speak in this movie.
And like, Odie doesn't speak
anything. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you expect, you're not expecting him to speak in this, and he doesn't. But it's like Harvey Gillian, like
Odie's voice in Garfield and Friends is a lot
Frank
like
Welker
Snoopy.
Yeah,
it's not Frank Welker. Frank Welker's Garfield.
I mean, like get Frank Welker or something to like just throw in like,
or get the guy that's been voicing him since the 90s or 80s. So yeah, I would give it a 7 out of 10.
I gave it a 6. It's something I go see in
maybe
theaters.
6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, and I think we established last week 6 is not a bad movie.
Yeah, 6 is not a bad movie. It's decent. Your kid is gonna love it.
Oh yeah.
There's it's one of the your kid's gonna love it, and it has. The story it's trying to tell is very sweet.
Anyway, that's all I got for new releases this week.
I got some video game releases this week. First off, a game that we missed last week because I just forgot to write it down. An English Haunting. It's a retro point-and-click game, or retro-inspired point-and-click game about the supernatural exploits of a professor in 1907. It released on itch.io on May 15th last week. But it didn't release on Steam due to some kind of problem with the Steam review system. And so it finally released on Steam on Wednesday the 22nd. Monday the 20th, it was announced that the entire Kingdom Hearts series was going to be releasing on Steam on June 13th with a trailer that, if you've never played the Kingdom Hearts games before, don't watch the trailer. A lot of spoilers, a lot of end game spoilers for stuff. Thursday the 23rd, Black Ops 6 was announced to be the next Call of Duty game. A full reveal for the game is planned to be on June 6th.
Nice.
Kermit the Frog was announced for Disney Speedstorm, which is their like Disney's Mario Kart, but it plays a lot more like the realistic racers. But he was announced to be a driver. Jeff Keighley shared the tweet or retweeted the tweet about Kermit the Frog's announcement with "What a time to be alive," which I feel is a little hyperbolic, but whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
We got a story trailer for Honeycomb: The World Beyond this week. We also got a reveal trailer for Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus 2, I think is how it's pronounced.
I bet you Henry Cavill's excited about that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure little girl squealed the whole time. If we want to, imagine Henry Cavill just... We also got a story trailer. I typed "stroy," a story trailer for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. Story trailer for that. Dave the Diver crossover DLC with Godzilla was released on Thursday the 23rd. You only have 6 months to get the DLC. I saw So that's fun. Time DLC. May 20th saw the release of the indie horror action game The Tower on the Borderland on PC. May 21st saw the release of the indie game Paper Trail, a top-down puzzle game about leaving home set in a paper world on PC and consoles. Hellblade 2 released on Xbox and PC this week.
Mm-hmm.
May 23rd saw the release of Duck Detective and the Stolen Salami, released on Switch and PC. So it's got like this pop-up book art style, and you go around, talk to people, and you have to fill in your blanks to solve the mystery, including characters' names. So when you talk to them, you have to learn their name and everything.
Yeah.
We also got the indie game Haunty, an exploration action adventure game about a brave ghost seeking answers in eternity, which released on all consoles and PC.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, this Thursday, we got Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door remake for the Nintendo Switch. My favorite game of all time is the GameCube version. I have been waiting 20 years for this moment. My wait to play the game on Thursday was quite long and harrowing.
We both had to wait for things to arrive.
Oh yeah, so he and I both, like the Titanic he's been wanting for a couple of years, and the Paper Mario, obviously I've been waiting a long time for anything resembling Thousand Year Door in the Paper Mario series.
And this week made us deserve it.
We all had things that, you know, that we needed to do before we got to do the fun stuff, but it just made it feel that much longer because we were so excited. But no, I am in the middle of the second chapter of the game, out of 8 chapters, and the remake is phenomenal. The graphics are what I saw when I was 4 years old playing the GameCube version for the first time, and the music is completely remixed. There is a lot of new music in the game too. Every partner gets a theme. Partners who already had themes are completely remixed. Even little scenes that are like, oh, we just cut to this character to get a little scene, has its own score. Like, it's just, they put a lot of love into remaking this game to be both faithful but also adding to the experience. A lot of dialogue tweaks that for jokes that are honestly funnier than the original.
Yeah.
There's one, and this one even wasn't originally a joke, where one character says a rhyme relating to the legend of the story, and is like, "Oh, you mean that old rhyme old people used to say all the time?" And the new one, another character says it and says, "With a rhyme that solid, it's got to be true." It's, you know, it's so they punch up the script a little bit, and it's really enjoyable. The game means a lot to me. And so I might have teared up when the teaser trailer was released past September, and I might have teared up again when I got to the title screen.
Is it everything you like expected it to be and wanted it to be?
It's everything and more. Because honestly, if anything, if we ever got a re-release of it, I thought it was going to be like the Pikmin 1 and 2, or it was like, here's just the game,
but just like remastered,
scaled up a little bit. But it is a full remake. It uses the engine of the last Paper Mario game, Origami King, which I liked Origami King, except that, and I like puzzle games, so the combat didn't bother me all that much because I just like solving puzzles. But the combat wasn't rewarding enough. All you got was coins, and you use coins to spend on items you use in battle, as well as other things. You use coins to unlock stuff, but it was a lot more of a pleasant experience than the previous 2 Paper Mario games, but it definitely wasn't as good as the original 3 games.
Yeah.
But it was a very nice step in the direction. So to see them take things from Origami King and add that to Thousand Year Door, but like all the best things, changing battle themes, the paper aesthetic is like a nice middle ground where it looks like a pop-up book, which is what I think the GameCube one was going for in the first place. It is 30 frames per second instead of 60, which does not bother me. I had to relearn the timing just a little bit, but the timing is not all changed all that much.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people, complain about the frame rate. And you can complain about the frame rate if you want. Don't buy the game if you want, but you're missing out on a really good experience. But they did find in the coding, data miners found in the coding, support for 4K resolution, which the game is not in. The Switch can't do 4K, which probably means that there's going to be some kind of update patch when the next Nintendo console comes out, which we know is happening at some point this year.
Q4 this year, or like announced Q4 this year, or comes out?
I would guess Q4 this year, if not
announced, or like comes out.
Announced. I would imagine it's not going to come out until April or May next year. But that's an aside. But yeah, Thousand Year Door, really good. You go buy it if you own the original just to play it again. If you haven't, go buy it to see what all the raving's about, because it holds up well.
I want to play it real bad. Though I've seen you play the original one years ago. This was solid like 5 or 6 at least.
Yeah, years ago when we were all just sitting around playing games.
Yeah, and I can agree. It does. Even that looks like a pop-up book.
Yeah, so those are my thoughts on the remake. I give the remake a 9 out of 10 only because they added a lot of things to it, but I don't know if they added enough extra content.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a couple extra things they added that I don't want to spoil, but not as much as the Mario RPG remake added.
New ones that came out. We got some new posters that came out this week for Maxine. The new poster for the official poster and character posters both for Beetlejuice. New posters for House of the Dragon Season 2. Some Hitman character posters for all of Glenn Powell's disguises as well as himself, plus Adria Arjona's character. New poster for Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, which is Beverly Hills Cop 4, releasing on Netflix.
I completely forgot that was happening until I saw the tweet, and I was like, holy moly.
Oh, yeah. I say everything looks awesome, but it looks awesome. New poster for The Bear Season 3 also came out this week. And we got some new release dates for... Some of them are like just in a general range. Some are exact dates. The Last of Us Season 2 will release in the first half of 2025 on HBO, which Jeffrey Wright is returning as Isaac from the game. Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, releases on September 21st, 2024 in theaters. It's a documentary about his activism after his famous accident. Flight Risk releases on October 18th in theaters. It's directed by Mel Gibson and stars Mark Wahlberg as a pilot transporting a dangerous criminal for trial.
Whenever I hear Flight Risk, the word or term Flight Risk has been ruined for me by Homestar Runner.
Mine's ruined for Taylor Swift.
So whenever I hear Flight Risk, all I can think of is Coach Z. I've shown you the video, I think.
I think so, yeah.
It's Coach Z, and he's on the phone with one of the characters and talking about this court case he's in, and he's like, they've called me a flight risk. That sounds like something they'd put on a trophy. Coach Z, #1 flight risk. It's just...
Brothers comes out on October 17th, 2024 on Amazon Prime Video. It's a comedy starring Josh Brolin, Peter Dinklage, and Brendan Fraser.
That sounds hilarious.
I know. It follows a criminal whose attempt at going straight is derailed after reuniting with his twin brother for the score of a lifetime. Which I don't know if 2 of those 3 are playing twin brothers or if it's like one's playing both scenario. Because I can't imagine any of those 2 pairs being twins.
But then we also have twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Isn't Triplets coming out with Tracy Morgan? Or is that like
it was supposed to be. I think that movie is in development hell, so I don't know if we'll ever see Triplets.
And then Steven Spielberg's next film comes out on May 15th, 2026, which will likely be his untitled UFO film that he teased. I believe it was last week. It will be written by David Coep, who wrote Jurassic Park. And then new trailers this week. A new little teaser for Sandman Season 2. The Sandman Season 2, I should say, on Netflix. Longlegs, the horror movie. The new Apple TV Plus Jake Gyllenhaal drama, Presumed Innocent, which premieres on June 12th. Got a new trailer this week. New trailer for Harold and the Purple Crayon in theaters August 2nd, starring Zachary Levi.
It should have been an animated movie.
It should have. Well, there's some animated parts to it.
There's some animated parts, but it should have been a fully animated movie. Yeah.
And I feel like I'll probably go enjoy it. It's definitely not my demographic, but I'm also a big Zachary Levi fan.
Yeah. So
shout out to his Chuck era. We got any Chuck fans out there? Formed my love for spies. New teaser for The Witcher Season 4, which showed the first look at Liam Hemsworth as, is it Geralt? Geralt, replacing Henry Cavill. New trailer, as previously mentioned, for both Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, releasing on July 3rd on Netflix, and Beetlejuice. A Sacrifice, starring Sadie Sink and Eric Bana. Got a new trailer for that, directed by Ridley Scott's daughter, Jordan Scott. Releases on June 28th. And the new trailer for The Bear Season 3. All episodes releasing on June 27th on Hulu. Real quick, some first looks we got are the A24's The Smashing Machine, starring Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. Got the first look at that. Some new clips for The Acolyte, Inside Out 2, which showed nostalgia, and also some new looks at Lance Switchblade. The Lance Slashblade.
I can't wait to get a look at the 2D animated character that's in it. I've heard from the grapevine.
I feel like it's going to be a Spider-Verse scenario where it's like a bunch of different animation styles.
Probably.
Maybe not as much, but
they probably get to a nostalgic area, it sounds like, because of all these characters and the nostalgia being an emotion. So there's probably going to be a lot of mixed media in that scene, which sounds exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Watch us be wrong, though.
Yeah. I'm probably going to cry at that scene because... Bing bong. All right, and that's all of my new looks, first looks, trailers that came out this week.
Yeah,
big talking point.
we got some first looks at stuff this week. Welcome back to the Multiverses Corner, where I trap you like hostages and make you listen to me read off some stuff about a game that I'm very excited for. Reminder that Multiverses launches Tuesday the 28th this month. And so these past 3 weeks, they've just been doing day after day of at least a little bit of something to give us. And this week has been very, very packed. The night of the 19th, Multiverses announced a YouTube premiere for Monday the 20th, and it was a launch trailer that announced the addition of Jason Voorhees and Agent Smith to the roster.
Which also was teased last week in the episode where you said the director or whoever was created said something's coming, or he's
he said, or something like that. He said it's going to be insane, and then there was a lot of speculation because of a covered up character slot that would have been in the J's alphabetically. So people were like, well, Warner Brothers owns this, and this was announced, so maybe it's Jason. So that was confirmed. Agent Smith we didn't know about. Agent Smith was more of a surprise. Jason
looks like the Hulk with Jason's head
his
on
design is so good. I don't know if you know this. This is I know you watched the trailer, but this is something that I really like about, like, just like a fun fact about the game. So the art style of the game was developed by the same person who was head of art style for Disney Infinity. I forget his name.
Ooh, I can see that. I don't know his name.
And
but
so he does a good job at like his art style, which he's no longer on the art team for Multiverses, but they still stick to his art style. But the thing about that art style is it does a good job at taking live action characters and adapting it, where most crossover stuff might just go, well, here's just the live action character. So it's very like odd that you have a realistic model of a character next to Finn the human would look a little weird. So it's nice that they do, like Arya Stark and Jason and Agent Smith have really cool designs that adapt well. Tuesday the 21st, a blog post was made explaining the revamped battle pass and economy of the game. I have this condensed here. For all players, new or returning, that play the game from launch and complete the tutorial will have a 7-day event calendar to complete. And once you complete it, you get Banana Guard for free. And the female Banana Guard variant costume, which is just a funny design. Returning players from the beta who play the game by June 11th will receive the Season 1 Premium Battle Pass for free. So if you tested the game during open beta or closed beta and you come back, you get the Premium Battle Pass for free, which automatically unlocks at least the first, I think it might be the first 3 tiers, but at least the first tier, which is Jason. So basically, if you're a returning player, you automatically unlock Banana Guard and Jason. Returning players who return at any point, so there doesn't seem to be a time limit on this one, will receive a Snowsuit Finn costume, a special Rising Star Ring Out cosmetic. You can equip a cosmetic to when you throw people off the stage. You know, in Smash, where like it'll do like the effect where like the sparks come flying out of the side. You can customize that, and it'll be different things like Darkseid's laser vision coming out of the screen or anything. So you get a special one that's called Rising Star, and you also get the Banana Guard announcer pack if you're a returning player. The Battle Pass now has high-value items in both premium and free Battle Passes. The premium currency Gleamium can be earned through the free Battle Pass, but enough through the premium Battle Pass will be earned to purchase the next premium Battle Pass if you complete it. So basically, if you're a returning player and you grind the Battle Pass every time, you're getting a free premium Battle Pass as long as you keep grinding and getting enough Gleamium. The Battle Pass for Season 1 will last 8 weeks once it starts on the 28th, and the last tier will be repeatable, so you can keep getting rewards if you just want to keep playing the game after that. New currencies. So gold is now gone. You earned gold, and that's how you purchase things. That's now gone. Characters are now purchased with Gleamium or a new fighter currency called fighter currency. Perks, which are equipable like extra abilities for characters, and as well as like overall buffs for characters that can be used on any character. They can be unlocked with perk currency, and prestige currency, which is unlocked, can unlock the rarest cosmetics in the game. The way you unlock these is Gleamium can be bought or played through gameplay. Fighter currency and perk currency can also be earned through gameplay. Prestige currency, though, can only be unlocked by buying cosmetics. So the more cosmetics you buy, and it seems to be costumes, ring outs, whatever, will unlock you more currency to spend on the rarest stuff in the game, which is cool. I think the Batman Who Laughs Joker skin is a prestige costume, so you'd have to,
That's going to be awesome.
And he seems to have his own voice lines. Separate from Joker's, kind of like they have Black Ring Superman as a costume, and he has his own separate voice lines. Now that gold is no longer a currency, though, returning players will receive cosmetics based on how much gold they had before the beta closed. Perks that you unlocked in character mastery, which is how much you leveled up the character, your how good you were at the character, has all been reset for all players, so it's an even playing field when it relaunches for new versus old players. You will get perk currency compared to how much current perks you had unlocked when you played the beta, and you also automatically get prestige for however much cosmetics you unlocked during the beta, which is cool. So that is a lot of stuff for Battle Pass, but we also got, on Wednesday the 22nd, a video showing off both forms of the Dexter's Lab stage. This Thursday, we got a gameplay video of Jason, and he looks...
I saw some of that. Not all of it.
His combo potential seems wild.
Yeah.
I saw one player explain he has 3 jabs where it's like he swings his machete 2 times and then he grabs you and throws you. If you just do his first 2 jabs and you stomp and do your up special, he will grab you with his axe and just slam you down, and that's like a good way to just rack up damage. And then Friday, Multiverses showed off Townsville, as well as revealing some launch party things for the game. They will be streaming on YouTube a launch party with giveaways, as well as additional giveaways for players who watch the game being played on Twitch. And this following information was gathered from the Twitter account Multiverse Susie, so shout out to them. If you watch for 30 minutes, you will get the Presently Shocked Tom and Jerry banner, which is behind your character in the loading screen. 60 minutes will get you 100 Gleamium, and 90 minutes will get you a beach costume for Garnet. So that is all the Multiverses stuff. So that is Multiverses.
And if you thought we were done with Multiverses, wait till next week. You're gonna play a little bit of it,
because I'll be playing a little bit. I mean, that won't be as extensive as this. It'll probably just me talking about it. But yeah, no, you're not escaping Multiverses just yet, because it is. I don't play a lot of free-to-play games, much less games with battle passes. And I got to test the second closed beta, and then I played the open beta, and I got hooked. I like Super Smash Brothers, and then I also like Scooby-Doo. So mix the two together on top of referencing the Ultra Instinct Shaggy meme was just perfect for me. I'm a Velma main, and I also got pretty good at Superman. Isn't that a weird sentence to say? I'm a Velma main.
I'm a Velma main.
Yeah. Although towards the end of the open beta, I got pretty good with Arya Stark, so I might go back to using her. Well, we'll just see, because they tweaked a lot of character stuff. I know they slowed the game down a bit to make characters like Superman, not to the point where you can't, oh no, it's so slow. They just slowed it down enough to where characters who have the ability to trap you can be a little bit punishable. That is all for Multiverses this week.
Multiverses?
Yeah.
Till next week, where we can get your reaction to it. The Cannes Film Festival started last week, ended, I believe, today. They got some winners announced for it. Best Screenplay went to Coralie Fargiat for The Substance. I might butcher some of these names because there's a lot of them I don't even know. Best Performance by an Actress went to four of them. Adriana Paz, Zoe Saldana, Carla Sofia Gascon, and Selena Gomez, all for Emilia Perez, the movie. Best Performance by an Actor went to Jesse Plemons from Kinds of Kindness, which I'm honestly excited for. The Special Award went to Mohamed Rasulov for The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Best Director went to Miguel Gomez for Grand Tour. Jury Prize went to Emilia Perez. Grand Prix went to All We Imagine Is Light. And then the coveted Palme d'Or, which is basically the best picture of the Cannes Film Festival, went to Anora, which, fun fact, I believe it's the 5th or 6th year in a row that a movie produced by the company Neon has won the Palme d'Or.
Oh, wow.
Past ones being Parasite. I believe last year went to Anatomy of a Fall.
I'm ready. I'm excited for I think there's the next film festival in June. I can't remember which one that is. They are showing off the Looney Tunes movie that isn't a tax write-off.
Yes, the
day the Earth blew up.
Yeah, that one.
So I'm excited to see reactions to that because it's going to be the first 2D animated movie that isn't an anime.
That's like a feature-length film.
It's also Looney Tunes' first feature-length film, completely animated, released in theaters. Yeah. As well as seeing 2D animated stuff in theaters is just nice.
Is that the Anarchy Film Festival you're talking about?
Yes.
I think that's the beginning of June.
Beginning of June?
So it might be the next week or two.
Ooh.
Episode. I believe it's June 6th.
We'll look forward to the Looney Tunes conversations we'll be having.
Exactly. And also that comes out new look. I didn't mention it last week. New look at the new Amazing World of Gumball show.
Oh, yeah.
Showing that
So
there.
it was supposed to be a movie.
Yeah.
and they got turned to a show. But the movie may still be happening.
Yeah. We're both big Amazing World of Gumball fans.
Amazing World of Gumball is trending on Twitter right now. I don't know what the cause
I'm
is.
always scared whenever I see this trending on Twitter because you never know what it's going to be.
And it's just people sharing funny clips. And
Okay,
so I've
good,
just been scrolling through Twitter, and I'll watch it, and I'll laugh at whatever scene it was. There's the one where Mr. Robinson is trying to get Gumball and Darwin to forgive him. And so he's like, man, I thought I could just brainwash him. That's it. How to brainwash. And then he's in jail.
It's true. It goes back to me loving dumb characters. The dad is just me.
No, that was
Yeah, Mr. Robinson's the
Mr.
neighbor,
Robinson, the neighbor,
But I'm just like in Gumball in general. The dad is just
oh, yeah.
Richard. Me.
So this week in history stuff,
Mm-hmm.
we got some pretty cool ones. May 19th was the 20th anniversary of Shrek, and the 25th.
Yes.
It was also the 25th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yes.
May 20th is the 73rd anniversary of the 1951 film 14 Hours. And it was the 36th anniversary of Willow. It was also the 22nd anniversary of Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights.
Nice.
Which is a really, decent Scooby-Doo game from PlayStation 2. I had the GameCube copy. My GameCube copy is signed by Grey Delisle and Scott Enos when I got to meet him at a Comic-Con this year.
Nice.
So that was a cool experience because my copy was rented from the local Hollywood Video. And so we rented it so much that we just bought it.
Yeah.
Or I say we rented it. My parents rented it for me so much that they just bought it. And so it's just kind of like a nice little thing that this important thing to me is signed by them. Just so cool. May 21st is the 44th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back and the 15th anniversary of Terminator Salvation. May 22nd is the 15th anniversary of Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian.
My favorite.
Probably the best one in the trilogy.
I think that is the best one of the trilogy.
Yeah.
They're all good. I like all of them, but Battle of the Smithsonian is like...
It is also the 44th anniversary of Pac-Man. The May 23rd is the 40th anniversary of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which I just like to point this out all the time, is a movie that led to the creation of the PG-13 rating.
I can see that. I feel like I've heard that before, but I forgot
and Goonies, I think.
With the getting out, like, did they eat a monkey heart?
Yes, or ripping the heart out of a dude's chest,
Yeah.
It is also the 44th anniversary of The Shining.
I still haven't seen that.
It's good. It's classic for a reason. The TV series version is not good.
As most things.
The one with Stephen King did not like The Shining when it came out. And so he was like, I could do better. And so he made the show and it sucked.
Yeah.
May 24th was the 20th anniversary of The Day After Tomorrow and the 35th anniversary of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So
That's
this
also
weekend,
one of my favorites.
This weekend is a big
Indie fan.
big anniversary weekend for Lucasfilm. It's also the 20th anniversary of Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which is a game that just got a remake on the Switch. And the 25th of May was the 45th anniversary of Alien and the 34th anniversary of Back to the Future Part 3.
Also one of my favorite of the two. Is that a hot take?
For Back to the Future 3 to be your favorite
of the three?
Maybe not a hot take,
I'm also
but it's
like
definitely,
a big
you're
Western guy.
You're definitely in the minority on that because I would say 2's my favorite, I think.
I think 2 is like the general consensus to be the favorite.
Yeah.
I just love Westerns.
And that is it for This Week in History.
Nice.
Just a couple comic news here. Marvel announced on Wednesday this week the release of Predator vs. Black Panther, a 4-issue crossover miniseries that will release this August, written by Predator vs. Wolverine writer Benjamin Percy and artist Chris Allen. This August also sees the launch of the Avengers Cross Ultraman crossover 4-issue miniseries with writers Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom and artist Francesco Manna, who all previously worked on the Ultraman Marvel series. So that'll be cool to see. I didn't read the whole blurb of the synopsis, but Spider-Man disappears as the start of the plot. So it'd be interesting to see where that goes. But speaking of Spider-Man, a new Spider-Man series, Spider-Man Black Suit and Blood, launches this August. It seems like it's going to be very dark.
Oh, yeah. And
on the DC side of things, this morning we got the announcement that a 10-issue sequel and last part of this series to Jeff Loeb's and Tim Sale's Batman The Long Halloween, titled Batman The Last Halloween, will be releasing. Sale passed away in 2022, so Loeb will be joined by many artists, including Dark Knight Returns artist Klaus Janson and Batman Who Laughs artist Eduardo Rizzo. But apparently, according to an interview about the announcement, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale had planned this final act since the release of the last Halloween Batman story, which I think was in 2021. So this was completely planned before the artist passed away. So it'll be
still got his influence.
So it'll still have his influence. The first issue will release September 25th. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Long Halloween is one of my favorite Batman stories, probably followed by The Doom That Came to Gotham. And the movie adaptations for both of those are pretty good. So I'm very excited for that. And speaking of comics, do you have any Marvel news for us this week? Marvel's always got something going on.
I have a little bit. Just when you think last week was a lot, we got a couple today, or this week. The news for Venom: The Last Dance keeps getting just small news every week. It's reported that a 10-year-old Peter Parker will appear in the movie, which does weird things for the timeline of when Venom is set and how it interacts with Michael Keaton's Vulture. I'm done with the Sony timeline.
The Sony timeline is just...
I'm not done with the Sony movies as a whole because I'm waiting for Kraven the Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But just the timeline after Madam Web, I was like,
Yeah, I just kind of... I don't know.
The
Venom movie, I legitimately love both Venom 1 and 2.
Oh, I loved them.
But as far as
Carnage
trying
was awesome.
to make them a cinematic universe, Sony's just not...
They don't know what they're doing because they never know if they're going to get... We're not going to go into that.
They lost Peter Parker, and they're just like, what do I do with all these beloved characters that have solo runs of their own?
Exactly. Kraven the Hunter looks awesome. Kraven the Hunter is my favorite Spider-Man villain. I've told you that.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man 2, the game, I should say, was just your whole, Kraven. The minute you saw that tease, you're like, I'm sold.
Oh, yeah. When I heard Kraven and the voice, I was like,
fun.
The Last Hunt.
This is an aside. This is just a random thing. But, a lot of the voice work, if not all the voice work in those Insomniac Spider-Man games, so good. All the voice actors are so good.
Yuri Lowenthal?
Yuri Lowenthal. Such a good Spider-Man. Kraven the Hunter, his voice actor, is the dad from Victorious.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm you talk about a leap in...
I would have never guessed that.
Talk about a leap in your resume there.
Yeah.
Going from a sitcom dad to playing Kraven the Hunter.
That
was Nickelodeon.
Yeah, Nickelodeon's sitcom dad. Not just a regular sitcom dad. You remember whenever they announced Vision Quest as a Disney Plus MCU show?
Yes.
So we got a little update on that. Paul Bettany will return for a new Vision series. It releases in 2026. It'll be the first 2026 release Disney Plus Marvel show. So I'm guessing early, maybe February, March-ish. Terry Matalas, who was the showrunner for Star Trek Picard, will be the showrunner for this show, which sounds very interesting. What If? An Immersive Story. First trailer dropped this week. It releases on May 30th on Apple Vision Pro. It's kind of I think it's a choose your own adventure kind of feel. We got an update on the MCU's X-Men movie. Did you not hear about this?
No, I didn't hear about this.
It's not a big update.
No, okay.
They're officially moving forward with the mutant team, and Michael Leslie, who wrote Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, will write the script for it. That's all the update is.
I am begging you to have Gambit.
Yes.
In this movie.
Yes.
Gambit is my favorite.
Who do you want to play him? Channing Tatum?
I would love to see Channing Tatum finally get his shot, but if they got someone else, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Now, I feel like it's a missed opportunity. And obviously, they would have cameos that aren't announced yet. I would feel like it's a missed opportunity not to have Channing Tatum as Gambit, at least cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if all the Fox stuff is just Deadpool stuff.
Yeah.
This is your moment to give.
I've said it before. It's it's probably going to shape it up to be their adaptation of Deadpool kills Marvel Universe, and then Deadpool kills the Fox Universe.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see if this will mean that Deadpool will cameo in every movie, even if it's not Ryan Reynolds. It's
just be like the new Stan Lee.
Like the new Stan Lee, which I saw that was I know that's a meme.
That's been a thing for a while. Yeah,
but it would be interesting to see if this is how that sets up, because you can't have this be a Deadpool MCU movie and never bring him back.
Oh yeah, so he's definitely going to be here for.
I want Ryan Reynolds Deadpool to meet Tom Holland Spider-Man so bad, because Spider-Man and Deadpool's dynamic in the comics is just Yeah,
Yes.
so it'd be interesting to see. Like, imagine, say at the end this Wolverine goes back to his universe and everything's fine, and so Deadpool spends the rest of the time trying to fill the bromance hole in his heart after Wolverine leaves. So he just finds Spider-Man and harasses him the whole time.
He's
I,
so
I just
good.
find that would be so funny.
Yeah, that'd be so good. Speaking of X-Men, X-Men 97 season 2 is currently being animated. I know there's a little bit update on that last week.
Yeah, I think storyboards have begun. So it's very early in the process. We probably won't see it until
I'd say
late next year at the earliest.
Yeah,
But
if not
probably
2026.
2026.
Yeah.
Which stinks that we're to a time where TV shows are taking so long between seasons. But as somebody who watches anime, I'm used to it and I've grown numb to it. So
Yeah. Marvel Television is rebranding, which they'll now let audiences watch whatever they want without worrying about MCU continuity. They said the way they described it is like you can dip in anywhere and like not have to worry about anything else, which yay, but also like how?
I feel the way they described it sounds like the way they described Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which scares me.
I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents
so
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
much.
was so good, but the way they treated it with the MCU, despite the fact that they promised that it was in the MCU, was, so I kind of hope
That's my
that
deepest despair with Marvel Studios is the lack of faith to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So I kind of hope that it's handled better and that if you watch all the shows, maybe write the shows so you don't feel lost, but still make it seem like they're connected.
Exactly.
Is what I hope
in
they do.
some way.
Like early MCU movies, you had hints to each other, but it wasn't so.
They were like their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that's how they do it.
Which, by the way, Ghost Rider in season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Have you seen all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, but I've seen the Ghost Rider stuff.
Ghost Rider? Oh,
Did you see? I think it was
Reyes
Ryan
was
Gosling.
so good.
Do you see like Ryan Gosling wants to play Ghost
He wants
Rider?
to, yeah.
And maybe,
He wouldn't be my first pick for Ghost Rider, but
honestly, I kind of want him to be Booster Gold in DC. But there's a whole other rumor that I doubt it's going to happen. So
yeah, I'm waiting to see Ryan Gosling show up in a superhero thing. A little comment on Daredevil Born Again. Vincent D'Onofrio reveals that the original Vision had no connections to the Netflix series, but the new Vision has a lot. And then a couple of Deadpool and Wolverine stuff. We got a new poster release as well as a new teaser revealing that tickets went on sale Monday, the 20th. It was revealed this week that Rob McElhenney from Always Sunny, he'll make a cameo.
okay.
But I wish I kind of expected, and I know a lot of fans expected because he owns Wrexham, part of Wrexham with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
They're like best buds now.
What if he's playing like a really like weird X-Men character like Toad?
I imagine it's gonna be something like that. Yeah, he's like just throw him in there, and then also
or he's Morph.
Yeah,
That'll always be stuck in my head. Is the first episode of the original series when Morph seemingly dies and Wolverine's voice, which at the time was very very gruff, was just Morph. So, and it was one of those things where it's like it's supposed to be taken seriously, and the rest of the show does a good job at the dramatic stuff, including Wolverine's parts. But for some odd reason, that line reading just killed me.
Yeah,
maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm immature, but
we're both immature.
Yeah,
I mean, and then they released a new PSA. Please silence your phone. PSA for movie theaters is now showing, featuring Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters, and I saw like a filmed version of it. It's obviously not released online.
Yeah,
but it is so funny.
I
can't say what it is because there's
either yeah. Well, we can't say a lot of the promotional stuff for that movie,
Deadpool
unfortunately, but because we want to keep this PG. So, but
it is so funny.
I will say, if I want to get on a soapbox a little bit here, because you said PSA about turning your phones off. I don't know about you, but I feel like the PSAs need to turn more towards don't get on your phone at all.
Yes.
Because turning your phone off is one
100%.
thing. But the big ringtones are a lot less because most people will turn those off immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem is people getting on their phones, and so the bright light just blinding you in the middle of watching the movie. That's the problem. So I think movies should start switching towards doing a in-character PSA for stuff like that.
Well, kind of like Alamo does that a lot. Shout out to Alamo Draft House. Not a sponsor, but they do that a lot.
Yeah.
When I went to see Freelance at AMC last, I believe it was August, I was sitting in like the back row because it was like a last minute ticket purchase. And the dude, like 2 rows in front of me, this old dude, pulled out his phone, and I kid you not, was on it for a solid 20 minutes straight. And it made me so mad. The movie was like not the best movie.
Yeah.
But still, like, it doesn't matter what kind of movie you're watching, if it's good or bad. Any movie, you don't need to be on your phone, people.
Yeah, if you're
Don't
gonna be
get
on
on
your
your phone
if
in the
you're gonna be
movie
on your
theater.
phone for the majority of the time you're watching the movie, just stay home and watch streaming.
Exactly. Now, I will say, if I'm in a theater by myself, which I have been a couple of times, like the only person in there, I'll pull out my phone.
Yeah, like when
But
me, and Hayden went and saw Into the Spider-Verse.
yeah,
It was just the three of us
on the opening night,
Yeah, on
a
the
Thursday
opening
night
night.
opening night,
That was the wild
in
thing.
3D.
We knew so many people who were excited for that movie, so we were expecting, we'll see a lot of friends, we'll see a lot
Yeah.
of, and we were the
Not a
only
single
three
person
people there.
besides us three.
The following night was busy,
Oh yeah,
but for the first time ever, a movie that everyone in town was excited for, the opening
no
night
one showed
was,
up on opening.
Yeah.
A Thursday night opening, not a
Yeah.
Friday night, but a Thursday night opening, which led to an all-time inside joke. Which I feel like we can't say it without Hayden here.
Yeah, we can, no, he's the only person that can deliver that line.
Exactly, and it's not a line you'd think he'd deliver. That's all my Marvel news.
I do have, I said anime earlier. I do have a couple anime news things. A new Ghost in the Shell anime was announced for 2026, which is pretty cool. And Fairy Tail, the 100 Years Quest anime adaptation was announced to start releasing episodes on July 7th in Japan. We don't know about international release, just so it doesn't seem like it's going to be a simulcast thing where the English voice dub comes out pretty quick after. Fairy Tail is one of my favorite anime. So seeing the sequel series get an anime is really exciting. But yeah, pretty cool anime stuff this week from two very well-known franchises. So that's that.
Alas, as part of one of our last things, we do have a couple of celebrity deaths that happened this week.
Yes.
You got your one with that we missed last week.
Yeah,
we accidentally missed.
We missed last week. May 17th, the SpongeBob Instagram announced that Peter Bennett had passed away at age 56. He was an art director and was on the crew for the show since 1999. Between 99 and 2014, he painted backgrounds for the show and art directed 161 episodes between 2005 and 2021. He also was Hans, the hand, if with the exception of 2 episodes. So that hand that is in almost every episode and like Battle for Bikini Bottom and stuff, that's his hand.
Yeah.
And the gross-ups that SpongeBob is famous for, a lot of those paintings were his acrylic paintings. And so it's a pretty massive loss, not only for the show, but just for the art, kind of the art world in general. Dude, amazing artist.
Yeah. This week we got John Wysocki. He was 56. He was the founding drummer of Stained. Passed away. Richard Ferrongi. He was 86. He was a character actor from like Serpico at Midnight Run. Charlie Collin, founding member of Train, died at 58. Morgan Spurlock, the director of Super Size Me, passed away at 53.
The spooky thing about that one is that Super Size Me was trending on Twitter 2 days before.
Oh, no.
So
that's
people were
creepy.
just talking about it.
Daryl Hickman, 92. He was 92. He was a child star of Leave Her to Heaven, and also he was in The Grapes of Wrath. And then it was announced today?
Today, I think
This afternoon.
about
maybe?
an hour before I texted you about it.
Text me.
Yeah.
So this afternoon, early evening, Richard M. Sherman, he was 95, passed away. He was a Disney composer / songwriter for a lot of the early Disney films. Or like
He and
maybe
his
middle
brother
Disney
wrote
films.
music for Mary
Yeah,
Poppins.
Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty
is what
Chitty
it
Bang
said too
Bang,
as well.
and It's a Small World After All. We have
Yeah.
him, and I think him and his brother wrote it together. We have them to thank for It's a Small World After All, and
Yeah.
all those different Disney earworms, and it's
Of like the
big.
early 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
As well as Doge passed away this week.
Doge did pass
He was
away.
the goodest of boys.
The goodest of boys.
And he will continue to be the goodest of boys.
I use the emote regularly,
Mhm.
so it's
Doge was one of the best boys.
one of the best boys.
Rest in peace to all these people. They will be missed. A lot of my sources this week, I got the obituaries from Entertainment Weekly. Most of my news came from the Discussing Film Twitter. The Cannes Film Festival came from the official Cannes website. Some other of my sources were Deadline, TV Lines, where I got a lot of the TV releases news. And my movie releases came from Movie Insider.
I want to also thank my sources, Discussing Film, comicbook.com, My Nintendo News, IGN, GameSpot, Polygon, Variety, and official sites and socials for any of the companies and franchises announced or talked about today. As well, once again, shout out to @MultiverseSusie for summing up a lot of this multiverses information that we talked about today, as well as some additional information that I couldn't find myself.
Pretty
packed
eventful week. We tried to comprise it as much as we possibly, and as usual, there's stuff that we
there's stuff
weren't
we
able
did,
to
a
get
lot
to.
of game releases we didn't talk about. I'm sure there's a lot of game trailers. Warhammer, I mentioned one Warhammer thing. There was like 20 Warhammer things this week. Some big event with Warhammer was happening that I couldn't get all the information on, so I didn't want to report half of what was true or not.
Yeah,
so
and there's a lot of stuff like new Jurassic World casting, new Steve Carell HBO comedy. You just have to hit like discussing film, or I'd recommend to go see that stuff. We just don't have time, or else it'd be like a 2-hour episode.
And we don't want to. Yeah, we want this to be a nice, not brief, but
give you everything we can, as much as we can, as fast as we can. And as always, we are ending our episode with this week the final part of our Disney princess tier list, ranking all the princesses on how well they could defeat 500 toddlers. We do have some changes from last week.
So before we rank the characters that we did not rank last time, my sister brought to my attention that we ranked Anna and Asha too low, the only two characters in our D tier. Asha I have since been informed, because I still haven't watched the movie, but I've been informed.
That's all. I didn't want to spoil it for you last week.
That she does get a magic wand, which gets her, it implies that she becomes the fairy godmother, which I would argue brings her up to...
I'd say A, because I don't think she's on level with Elsa yet.
Okay.
And then Anna...
So we discussed Anna before we brought up the idea that sidekicks and spouses can be brought into the fight, which might kind of diminish the actual concept of the tier list itself. But I don't care. It's my tier list. Shut up.
Exactly. Our tier list.
Our tier list. Sorry. The Bugs Bunny meme. Our tier list.
Exactly.
So Anna, it was also brought to my attention, could ask Kristoff for help and his horde of reindeer
and rock trolls
and the rock trolls
family.
So I would say bump them up to a solid...
I would say B.
B, yeah, B
with that.
So
I feel like borderline B or C.
Yeah,
that's a toss up to me. We're now continuing with Meg.
D.
D.
Wait, no. Do we want to say? So as for fighting for herself, I mean, she's pretty much just a puppet the whole movie.
Yeah, but she does have some sass.
She does have some sass, and she does put up a little bit of a fight. But overall, she still ends up being a little bit of damsel in distress. But if we say that Belle, if we say that Belle can summon Beast, we've
written ourselves into a corner here.
Can Meg summon
Hercules?
Do we want to omit the sidekick thing at all? Do we want to re-talk about how we're ranking these things? Do we want to keep the sidekick stuff?
See, I don't know, because that would put a
lot
of them
But then calling Hercules and Beast sidekicks feels,
would be like you're throwing Hercules into the mix and make it a solid S. But I don't want to put Meg as S.
So do we just want to...
I'm not hating on Meg.
Yeah, not hating on Meg, but...
We'd have to reevaluate a lot
of stuff.
Quick evaluations of some of these.
We can do quick. So we will say now the lengthiest tier list portion so far, because we're
doing the whole thing.
So basically, since we're saying that sidekicks can't be brought back,
I think Elsa can stay.
Elsa can stay
for sure.
Ariel stays.
Belle might bring her down to a B, maybe.
Yeah, bring her down to a B, because she's still got her own ingenuity and her father's stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Jane, I want to say C.
Jane's a C. She goes out in jungles and stuff, but if she can't call Tarzan, then that's just where she's at.
I feel like Asha with the wand, she can
stay in A.
Esmeralda,
we're keeping her at B just for the joke of her adopting all the kids.
Yeah.
Jasmine stays.
Yeah.
Actually,
because Raja's kind of with her though.
Yeah, Raja's kind of... Let's bring Jasmine down to a C. Because she is good at sneaking out of the house and fending for herself a little bit, but she's naive, so we'll say C. True. Everyone else can stay. Kita can stay.
Anna can stay there.
Yeah.
If we're taking out Kristoff.
If we're taking out Kristoff, though, let's put her back in D.
Just for the sake of
keeping it consistent. So we want to apologize for everybody who watched the last episode and agreed with a lot of what we were saying. So it's really changed, but
all these can stay. I feel like,
but these kind of upsets is why we're doing this tier list, because it is the content that you look forward to.
Merida, I think a solid S or A.
I'm gonna say A.
A.
I mean, she brought down her and her bear mom
bear?
though, brought
Brought down
that
the big old bear.
an immortal bear, much
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
So we'll put her in A because
I think you can't go
even
below
before
A.
her
You
mom
can't
got
go
even
below A.
before her mom got intervened,
Yeah,
she was holding up her own fight
for a little bit.
So
Mirabelle?
Mirabelle, because
I'll
she
say
cannot call for help from anybody, it's D.
D.
If we're not allowing for sidekicks or side characters, it's D.
Moana. Now
Moana,
she can is the water
the
a thing?
water comes to her assistance,
But
she's not like calling them for help. It's more that the water.
And we're not talking about Maui and all that. We're talking about
we're talking about the water because the water's a character.
Yeah.
The water street is a character, and the water like is a friend of hers. Is basically the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think the water helping her counts as her abilities or counts as a sidekick?
I want to say counts as her abilities. Can she actually control it?
She doesn't really control it, but she can basically be like, "Water, help!"
And she also has like her own because she took Tafiti.
Yeah,
And her own like wits and smarts. I feel like no lower than B.
no lower than B.
But I don't think she's Merida level though. That's what I'd compare it to. Do you think?
Yeah, let's put her on B then.
B?
If and it's B, maybe A if she can use the water if it's counted
Maybe
as
A.
ability. But since we're not sure on that, let's just go with her
we'll put her B.
natural abilities and say B.
Mulan, I think that's a
S.
solid S. Okay, good. We both
If
agree
she
on
can
that.
blow up the side of a mountain for the
If
Huns,
she can take
blow up
away the
side of-
Disney's movies' ability to be a musical,
She can take. If she could blow up, if she can cause an avalanche and take out all those Huns, she can cause an avalanche and take out all those toddlers. That's all I'm saying.
Honestly, I forgot we're talking about toddlers here.
That's the thing. We got to think about 500 toddlers
Exactly.
and what they
I'm
would
not going
do.
to bring this up again.
So
but
as
Moana and Ariel, you got the water scenario I mentioned last week.
Yeah.
Just going to leave it there. I'm not going to repeat it again. You heard me
and
last
thinking
week.
about toddlers again, I would say everyone so far makes sense because we kind of talked about their abilities overall, not the toddler thing for a second. But
Mirabelle and Anna both would be like, "Oh,
yeah, like what's Mirabelle going to do once 500 toddlers come running for her?
exactly." Pocahontas,
D.
so quick.
Her ability, the wind and all the magic earthly
Yeah.
things that happen is because of Grandma Willow.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair.
Isn't that right? It's been
That's
so
fair.
long since I've watched the movie.
But
I want to say all her in tuneness with the nature.
My bummer up to
Bring her up
C.
to a C.
Yeah.
Because she does same reason as Jane. A lot of time in nature, a lot of time living off the land.
Yeah, I feel like she can like use that to her ability.
Yeah.
Rapunzel, I would say A or B.
B. She
B.
uses your hair. She can definitely fend for herself. She's got that frying pan. That's definitely
That's
gonna,
exactly what I was gonna think of. And also,
tie the frying pan to the end of her hair and just start swinging it around.
it's like throwing rocks in a sock.
Any collateral damage is just
Exactly.
yeah.
Raya,
A.
she can hold her. I was gonna say A.
A. She's
Maybe
got that
S.
whip sword.
Yeah, I don't think she's. Quite
I don't
as
know
good
if
as
she's
these
quite
two.
S because she does struggle
Yeah.
with fights somewhat.
Yeah, Snow White D.
D. What's Snow White gonna do if she
She's
can't
lived
call?
with 7 men one time.
Yeah, and if she can't call those 7 men for help, she's worthless. D.
7 worker.
Snow White is worthless.
The
You heard
way
it.
you say it so fast. She's worthless. D.
I have strong
Oh, my
opinions on
goodness.
this. I've done a lot of thinking over the past week.
Okay, Tiana.
She
knows
got some
what she
fight in
wants.
her.
would
Let's
say-
put her in a C.
C. I was gonna say B.
B? Think B? Yeah,
I was
I can
gonna
see
say
it.
B because
What if she cooks a bunch of good food for them?
but poisons it.
I was going to say puts.
I'm just
I'm
talking
going to
about
say
murdering
adds it to
children.
where they puts them to sleep. But I guess poison
This is
works
the water
too.
scenario all over again.
I want to make a disclaimer again.
This is a
This
joke.
is all in
it's
farce.
comedic effect. We're not actually
This
saying
is fictional characters fighting fictional toddlers. So.
Exactly. Tinkerbell.
Oh, she's so small, but she's got magic, and she's.
She's also kind of like feisty, but she can also make them float.
But she's going to be super powerful because the more kids believe in her, the more powerful she is. So if she's
Also, I
got
have not
500 toddlers who see her and believe in her,
Yeah.
so let's put her in a solid
B.
B.
Were you gonna say A?
I was going to say B or C.
B. I think
Because
B.
she's got a lot of magic. She's got a lot of ingenuity where she could set up traps, but she's also super small. So eventually she's going to get overwhelmed.
and I
lose
mean, but she can go like she's also real fast though.
Yeah.
but that's not defeating him. She's just dodging him.
Yeah. I mean, but if Esmeralda can adopt the kids and that counts as defeating them.
Fair. Can she put people to sleep? We're not going down this route. Why do I bring it up?
No, that's better than the
okay, so
poisoning
myself.
thing.
Okay.
That was my whole point of saying the gumbo could just give them full bellies and make them sleepy for nap time.
To quote you, this is an aside.
This is an aside.
Vanellope, she's got some spunk.
Vanellope's got
She's a
spunk.
literal
She's got her
glitch.
glitchy powers. She's got the race cart. She got all the stuff she learned from Slaughter Race.
Exactly. I'm thinking, I wasn't going to say this till now. S tier?
S tier.
Were you thinking?
Also, she's a video game character, and you know what video games are doing to children in this world? They are brain
Oh, no. Oh, no.
rotting their brains.
Oh, no.
She's so effective. Effectively, she is S tier because of the effects. I'm kidding. S tier because of all her abilities, not the video game thing.
Put
So
her in S tier.
that is all 25, I believe, characters
25,
ranked.
I think, yeah.
Should
we
so,
recap real
yeah,
quick?
we want to recap it.
S tier, we got Elsa, Mulan, and Vanellope. A tier, we got Ariel, drowning them kids. No, I'm just kidding. We got in A tier, we got Ariel, Asha, Merida, and Raya. B tier, Esmeralda. What's her name?
Kita.
I almost said Kiko. Kita, Belle, Moana, Rapunzel, Tiana, and Tinkerbell. C, we got Alice,
Aurora.
Cinderella, Jane, Jasmine, and Pocahontas. And then in the D tier, we got Meg, Anna, Mirabelle, and Snow White. This is it. That has been our first tier list of the pod. Listen, guys, this is complete comedy. It's for comedic effect. We're not actually saying fight 500 toddlers. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll go straight to the outro.
Thanks for joining us this week. Hope you enjoyed the news. Hope you enjoyed your week, and hope you enjoy this coming week. Hopefully, this episode made your Monday just a little bit more bearable.
Oh yeah, we got a good week coming up. Your holiday Monday.
Your holiday Monday. Enjoy it. Enjoy some barbecue. Enjoy enjoy some multiverses this Tuesday the 28th.
Exactly.
Enjoy it. Play it.
Exactly.
I highly recommend it.
He's not asking you to play it. He's demanding that you play it.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you to play multiverses. I'm demanding that you buy 1,000 Year Door.
There you go. I'm demanding that you go see Furiosa.
And take your kids to see Garfield. It's a fun time. It's worth seeing it.
Yeah. To recap,
Yeah.
Garfield, Paper Mario, goodbye.